Hi, this is Christina from Hoopla,
And I'm Megan from Southern Branding.
and today we are going to talk about creating a company store.
Yes, yes. So I was excited that you brought this topic up because
You mean when I
I've been
texted you at like 9 p.m. last night? Hey, want to talk about
like, hey, what
company
are we
store?
gonna do? Because well, first of all, I can't believe we haven't done one on company stores.
Right.
Company stores is kind of like our immediate go-to when we're especially when we're talking to new potential clients. One in three, it ends up being a conversation about company stores.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's dive into it. Do you want to start and talk a little bit about, how the different styles of how
Yeah.
they can operate?
So I'm going to break this out I'm going to start off by saying the three kind of stores that I'm familiar with. And then I honestly have only experience doing pop-up stores. So I'll kind of talk about that. And then Megan runs a lot of programs for different companies that are year-long stores. So she'll go into that. And then we'll wrap it up with kind of telling you the benefits of maybe using it if you want to offer kind of some different items for holidays. So there's a couple of ways you can do a company store. One is going to be just a one-time store, and then another way to do it is a pop-up store, which is what I do frequently. And then the third way is to have it year-long run for your company. And so a pop-up store, the reason I use a pop-up store is if I have a department within a company or a company that doesn't want to have a year-long program because they want to take the benefits of quantity price breaks, but they don't want to guess on how many to order and keep in stock. We do a pop-up store, and we build it out so it looks branded to the company. And we can figure out on the back end, whoever I'm working with, we can figure out on the back end if we're giving a code so that the employees can apply $100 credit or whatever, or it could be no checkout whatsoever because the company's covering all of the costs. So it takes credit cards, shipping. I mean, we can really customize everything for you. So the process really is picking the items that you want in the store. And because of stock issues right now, that's pretty tricky. I just did a company store that lasted for about 6 weeks, a pop-up store. And then by the time we were ready to order, there was a lot of reconciliation and figuring
Yeah.
it out on the back end. But you just need to pick your items, build it out. The build out usually takes about a week, and then you can give feedback on how you like it or want to change it. And me and Megan can actually run through some company stores on another segment if you're interested in seeing how they work. And so I probably left things out, but I'll interject as Megan talks. And Megan can talk about having that year-long company store program.
Yeah. Well, so first off, I want to say there are lots and lots of different options out there that are available as far as running company store platforms. The one that Christina and I use, though, I love. We've worked with a lot of them. This one allows you to be able to really tie it back into your brand, to your current company website, even with video banners and having featured products and limited time products, featuring things as new items. So there's lots of great tools that are available with using this platform that just it looks so polished.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the stores that we run that are open 365 days of the year are going to be more incentive based. So we work with a lot of companies that have maybe safety programs, health and wellness programs, years of service recognition, awards and recognition. And a lot of those stores are run points based. So that's the other cool thing about these stores is they don't have to, kind of like what you were mentioning, they don't have to be credit card enabled. They can be credit card enabled, but then they can also be points based where we do the work for you on the back end, where we add people's points into the system. And then all then Christina has to do is go onto that website and go, oh, I have 100 points here I get to spend. That's awesome. Yeah. And pick out what items that you want. We definitely see this come up more around the holidays. which is really, really awesome. So, maybe instead of, trying to figure out every employee size or every client size out there, you give them points to be able to go onto this store. And by the way, I'm saying points.
It
It
means
can be called anything.
dollars.
It can be dollars,
Yeah.
points, bucks, whatever you want to call
Right.
it, is how it's branded.
But they basically translate to dollars.
Dollars. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We had one client one time that really like overcomplicated it, and it was 3 points for every dollar doing this whole
wow.
But yeah, it's an apples to apples thing.
Yeah.
So you award points, and give them money to be able to go on and buy something that they really want. A big trend that we're also seeing in this space right now, just like we've talked about in other segments, is, it doesn't have to be an item that is necessarily branded with your company logo. It can be something that has, different type of messaging on it. If you're doing this as a thank you to a client, maybe they just have, some, really cool artwork that's a version of thank you. Or maybe you let the client upload their own artwork.
I was just going to say that I'm going to piggyback on that. So that's another great reason to have a year-long store is if you have a sales team and you want them to be able to choose what gifts are appropriate for their clients. Totally. And have them approved already and have the branding approved or whatever. So you have this cohesive kind of offering. That's a great reason to do a store.
Yeah. And then we can even with this platform, we can take it one step further than that. We have a client that uses it exactly like how you're saying, and they have Salesforce all over the country, basically. And when anybody from their team meets with a prospective client and they want to give a thank you, they can go onto this site and they can order what they want, have it branded with the company. This specific one is the company corporate logo, but then they can also upload a thank you note. So That's they great. Can upload a thank you note. We include that in with the gift. It ships directly to the client. So there's all kinds of uses for it.
So let's get into some nitty gritty, because not long ago I was on the buying end, and these are the questions that will pop up immediately for me. What are the costs associated with this? And how does it work in the sense of, so, do we have these Oompa Loompas in the background just grabbing one item and decorating it, or are they all pre-bought? And like, how is that working?
So the answer is, really, how do you need it to work? So if you need it to be functional, that there's only the items on there are one piece minimum items, we can do that. If you need it to function where, you are doing bulk buys, you want us to be able to hold the inventory for you and then release it as different departments maybe in your company are ordering, we can do that as well. There are contracts that are in place. Definitely, especially when we're doing any type of, bulk buy and then releasing it. And then there's a fee. There's one fee for the actual build out of the store, which is generally, it depends on how complicated that is and how many items rather we're adding to the store. If it's, kind of what you're talking about, and it's a pop-up store and it's only going to be open for a certain amount of time, maybe there's 10 items on there, it's not going to be that much. If it's a store that's going to be open 365 days of the year and you've got 150 items on there, it's going to be a little bit more.
So I'm gonna piggyback on that because I know what I know, and so I'm gonna sprinkle that in. From what my understanding is, the pop-up stores, the setup is kind of a one-time fee.
Always a one-time fee.
Right. And then so you can use that pop-up later. They are going to archive any items that you have in the store. So that way, if you ever do want to reactivate them, they're not deleted, and just to have a history of what we've done previously. And once you go over 50 items, which is including the archived items, then there's an additional kind of very nominal, small, like additional setup fee for these new items. And then in the pop-up store, the first month is included for the hosting, but with the setup. But if you're doing a year long or whatever, you could probably have it written into the contract to have it waived if you're spending this amount of money. I'm just making that up. I don't know, because I do pop-up stores. But there is a monthly hosting fee, but it also is fairly nominal for having something completely branded to you and
Yeah.
having that kind of service offered.
The feedback that we get as far as the monthly first of all, we've never had anybody balk at a monthly hosting fee because like it's way under $100. Like it's not
Yeah.
even, yeah. So for the service that's provided and the amount of time that it's putting back in that person's, whether that's, a marketing position, an HR
HR.
position,
Yeah.
yeah, putting back into their day. I mean, it's hugely beneficial and worth it. Another tool, another way that we see it being done a lot, well, especially over the last year, we did a lot of, welcome back kits, or work from home kits.
Yeah.
So where you go
But
on
hey,
and order.
people, do you need welcome back to work kits?
We can do that too.
Yeah, we can do that too.
But you don't have to worry about, people have moved. They're,
Yeah.
you don't know where they are, like whatever. So you're collecting all the addresses.
Yep.
Yep. We send it out totally automated. You HR person get to do what you really need to spend your time doing and not worrying over this.
Well, and also I think another point to that, but also to work with the same brand partner slash have the store set up, etc., is having this process in place. If there is movement within the company or turnover, it's not like starting from square one. You can
Totally.
pass on the procedures and how things are done to whoever's taking over that responsibility.
Yep.
So I
Yeah,
think that's really important to mention.
absolutely. Also use it for new hire kits. So you have a new hire. Great. That's exciting. So we set them up in the system. They log on, they order what size polo, cool retro company t-shirt they want, welcome kit, and then we send it out.
LinkedIn, I will say this, LinkedIn has people are always posting when they start a new job. Well, not always, but they're posting what the swag they get. And I love seeing the swag, and it's so different from company to company. So if you don't have a new hire kit set up for yourself, contact me or Megan, because we will help you out and make sure you have some really cool swag so people feel excited to start. They can give you some of that, kind of brand recognition on LinkedIn or their social media and show everyone what you're about.
Well, it just promotes your company culture. And, it's a really great way to make people feel valued and included right off the bat. And which is what you want. That's how you make an impression. And, we know, there are all of these studies now where it's not necessarily, that we are money driven or money focused, but we want the quality of life. We want the experience. We want to feel valued. And so when you're, giving gifts right off the bat saying, hey, we're so excited you're part of our team, welcome, that's a huge impression. So there's a reason why people are posting that on social media, because they're so excited about it.
Yeah.
Yep. Great point. The only other real point about this that I want to make is, company stores, they don't have to be, sometimes people have the impression that a company store has to be like all of this volume. And it doesn't necessarily have to be so. If it's within your budget to do it and it's putting time back into your day, and that's kind of the quantifier and the qualifier that we use is it putting time back into your day? Is this providing a service for you that's going to be helpful and allow you to be more productive in other areas? Then that means it's a benefit for you.
So I want to talk about that because I have presented company stores, to numerous clients, and I've had one or two clients kind of balk at the setup fee. And say, I'm just gonna manage the ordering on myself. And I'm like, okay, you do that. But like, there's so many moving pieces to be able to send out a corporate email with like a PDF
Google
with all the
Forms
options
or whatever,
and then collect it in Excel and then cross check it when you could pay this one-time fee. You can use the store as many times as you want. And then you can just have everything automated. It can spit out reports. I mean, really, did you hire the person to collect email and put them in Excel? Is that what you want them to spend hours upon hours doing? Or would you rather just have it look polished, have it look professional. So it boggles my mind sometimes when people
Yeah.
end up not wanting to go that route when it's kind of a
Yeah.
complex
Totally.
project.
Well, and absolutely. And I think that's where we can show examples of reporting on the back end where
Yeah.
it's, hey, okay, great. So your store's open for a week. We're doing collections during this time. We can put all that information on the store,
Mhm.
totally automated, and then print out a report of, hey, this is what was ordered, and we're good to
Megan,
go.
not only that, I used to work in HR, and so not only that, but the other part that just popped in my head, because I just did a company, a pop-up store for a tech company, and it's a global tech company. So not
Mhm.
only was it for employees in the Boise area, it was employees in Singapore, India, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I did that store. And for someone to try to manage that without reporting ability, because the beautiful thing was it was open for, I think, 2 weeks. We just left it open for 2 weeks. Every week I would run a report and I would be able to send an email. I'd filter it all out into a table,
Yeah.
and I would send my contact and say, hey, all of these people have not ordered yet. So it
Yeah.
was so easy for her to grab all those emails and just send a
Yep.
blanketed reminder saying, hey, you have the store, we have the store for one more week. You haven't ordered yet. Could you imagine trying to manage
Figure
that
out. Mm-mm.
through email? Like, just,
Yep.
I mean, I just
Yep.
think people need to really see that big picture
Yeah.
on the benefits of it.
Yeah. Well, another point that I wanted to make with that too, kind of talking about the culture piece of it. We're all so much more aware now, and there's more talk around corporate culture, company philosophies, and companies are taking a stand for what they believe in and really talking about core values. We have one store that they have a list of core values that are their corporate beliefs, and all of the branding that they do around it incorporates this, which I just love.
Yeah.
But how they do this with their store with employees is they issue them, they're called bucks, and they issue them bucks. So whenever they see somebody that's exhibiting
Oh,
one of
yeah.
these pieces that they value of their core beliefs, their employees then get rewarded with these bucks,
That's
which I just
great.
think is really great, and what a
Yeah.
great way to just reinforce your culture.
Mhm.
So I just thought of that one too and wanted to share it. There's so many ways that these stores can work, and they're all totally different based on what your
Mhm.
need is. So
Completely customized to
yeah,
your needs.
yeah. So if you're thinking that it might be something that's a fit for you, or if you're hearing this and going, well, maybe that would make my life a
Mhm.
little bit easier, it doesn't hurt to have a conversation. We're always happy to talk with anybody about it. And it may or may not work for you or be something that you even need. And if it's not, we're going to tell you that too. We're going to be like, you know what? I think we can
Yeah.
find a different way to save you a little bit of money and take
Totally.
this off your plate. It's not always the solution, but a lot of times it is. So
Well, and I to end on this, because I know Megan has a meeting, and so we can't just dilly dally and talk all day like we usually do.
I know.
Um, but to end on this, the perfect way to try out a company store for you, for a lot of companies right now, if you're not sure about doing a year-long program or something like that, is the holidays. Perfect,
Yes.
absolutely perfect time. You could select just like 3 items or however many items you want, but we would want to check stock and make sure that there is like a deep inventory on them. But that would be the perfect way to try a pop-up store. You get it set up and branded to your company. You would be able to give your employees options on what they want, what they would receive, because that feels better than just getting
Mhm.
handed something that you're totally not interested in when you're at work for a gift. So that's a great opportunity to try it out.
Yeah, well, so that's another great point is when employees and your team members have the opportunity to actually pick what they're rewarded with, it's a more valuable experience for them. So that's a really great point, rather than just being handed, the gift card to wherever, or a random something that they didn't really want, but they then got the option to choose what they wanted. That's has a lot more impact.
Yeah. Couldn't I may, I love shopping. I have an issue. whether it's in person or online. So that those online company stores really resonate with me because I know as an employee, I would like enjoy the
I
process
went
of
this
that.
and this and that. Yep.
Um,
Okay.
let me end on a question.
Oh yeah.
What is my okay? Do you know? I do have a question. I do have a question. Do you know what the five love languages are? Yes,
I read this
answer
book
it.
like years ago.
Yeah, me
Um,
too. Do I have to Google
yeah,
this?
yeah.
I
Clearly
think
it's
it's acts of service,
yes.
physical touch,
Touch. Yes.
words of,
Words is one. Gifts is another. What's the fifth one?
I don't know. Obviously, that's not ours. Here, I'm gonna have to
Right.
write. That's not ours. Um, let's see. Oh, there, it came up really quick for me. Okay, what are they? What are they? Okay, words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time. So that's obviously not either of ours. And physical touch. So what is your love language for receiving, and what is your love language for giving?
Well, but the whole point is it should be specific to the person that's receiving it, right? Because that's how they need to receive.
Right. So how
Wow.
do you like to receive it, and how do you feel like you give it out? Like how do you show it?
Okay. I think for receiving, it's service and words. Those are the two things.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
do the dishes for me.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. How do you show it?
Probably words. I think words would be,
How
yeah.
you show it?
I like to I want to talk through
Yeah.
the
Megan's
thing.
a talker.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
want
we
to
get
talk.
along so well. Okay. So my what I like to receive is, first of all, it would definitely be words of affirmation. Tell me I'm doing a good job. Tell me how great I am. I mean, I'll listen to it all day long. Like that is definitely my love language. I would say second to that would be service, but I definitely affirmation. Gifts really isn't one for me because I love myself so much that I buy myself whatever I
I do it for
want.
myself. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way I show my love is I'm half Chinese. And so I wasn't raised in like a warm and, but like, we're not a warm and fuzzy people, I would say. So I would say my way I show is number one would be giving gifts. I love like surprising people. I love with like little presents that I think of
Yeah.
when I think, if I see something, or
Yeah.
my kids, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I do. I just buy them. They love me because I buy them stuff all the time. And then the second one would be acts of service. Like my grandmother, my Chinese grandmother, never said a nice thing to me once growing up, but like it was always like, what do you want to eat? Like that's a very Chinese thing. And I'm the same way. Like with my kid, I'm like a sous chef, not a sous chef, a short order cook. That's what I am.
Yeah.
I'm like
So
always cooking everyone what they want.
I'm like that with special occasions. Like if I'm hosting something, that's then how like I
Your
show
love.
love in that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
It's all I want it to be, beautiful and abundant and and that's how I show like this is I poured my heart into this for you kind of
Mhm.
thing. Even if it's just like a girl's night at my house, I want to do something that's
Yeah.
going to make it special in that way.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Was that kind of fun? That question was kind of fun once we figured out that fifth one that we're not into, quality time.
Quality time. It's because we don't have time for quality
I
time.
know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I don't have time for quality time.
Just got time
Okay.
for that. Although our Hayden was supposed to go to camp this week,
Mhm.
and because of our COVID situation here, he's not. So we're actually taking the next 2 days, and so Arkansas has beautiful, beautiful rivers, and
Oh, I
um,
love it.
we're known for trout fishing here.
Okay.
And so Chad, my husband, past life, he was actually a guide, did and did fly
Oh, cool.
fishing things. Yeah, so Hayden, like that's all he knows how to fish basically. So for the next 2 days, we're doing a little fly fishing excursion and going up to the White River and doing that. So we'll have some quality time then.
Okay. I have an assignment for you.
Oh,
during your
God.
quality time?
I'm already so stressed out about it. What's the assignment?
I want you to post at least one picture every day on Instagram or LinkedIn or both
Okay.
about what you're doing and why it resonates with you, because Megan has a little bit of a problem like being vulnerable and showing her like personal side.
Thanks for saying
Well, I'm trying to help her. So that's your assignment. So I want to make sure I see that. And if you see it, give Megan lots of love, because she'll be stepping out of her comfort zone doing that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Christina. Challenge accepted.
What can I say? Okay, so more next time. We'll be starting to focus on holidays in August. And if you guys have anything you want us to cover, please DM us. I know we have three, maybe 4 viewers. We could have 6, I'm not sure, but just DM us, let us know, and we will put it on the schedule for you.
Sounds like a plan.
Bye-bye.
Bye.